So hello and welcome to this presentation about the relaunch of the Heineken Light campaign, which is made to recover from the failed campaign which happened in 2018. About this failed campaign, the slogan was "Lighter is better," and it was made to promote the product Heineken Light, which is a free alcohol beer and with low calories made from Heineken. And a commercial video was released 2 years ago with the purpose to promote the beer and its free alcohol and low calories features. However, the result was not very good. The campaign was heavily criticized on Twitter. Change the Rapper, for example, made said that it was racist, and the campaign was named among the worst ones of the year, and it really made a bad buzz and touched negatively the company of Heineken. So why did it fail? So the video was considered as racist, and it received quite much criticism because in the video a barman is throwing Heineken Light to a white lady, and on its way to the white lady, the beer goes in front of three African people before reaching the white lady with the slogan "Sometimes lighter is better." So it was not very well seen by the African and the community in general. Um, and moreover, the video didn't show the real objective, which was to promote the free alcohol and low calories feature of the drink. So Heineken didn't complete its objective, and finally apologized on Twitter and say that the purpose was not to insultate the black community, just wanted to show that its beer is good and has no alcohol, but the video didn't prove that. So to relaunch this campaign for Heineken Light, the SOSTAG framework will be made by Smith will be used. So we starting with situation analysis, going through objectives, strategy, tactics, actions, and finally control. So to start the SOSTAG model with the situation analysis, competitor analysis was made. So for example, here is the web search numbers for the beer competitors, and as Google Trends show, Heineken is positioning first in front of Budweiser and Guinness. So Heineken doesn't seem to have suffered from the failed campaign, and they are performing quite well in terms of web search, which is very good. And in terms of social media followers, Heineken has a large community in Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, and also Twitter. So they have many followers. They like followers on Pinterest, but this is not their first and priority social media. However, the problem is that the engagement rate on Facebook and Instagram is still very low, so the campaign will have to make that change very quickly, because even if the Heineken has many followers, they need to be active. So this is a big problem for the moment. So following the SWOT framework, we will analyze the internal and external environment of Heineken. So as we said, they have a large community of followers on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, which is a good point. They have quite interactive content with, for example, endorsement. So they lastly released a video with Daniel Craig starring James Bond, which was very well received. They sponsor many huge sport events like Formula One, Champions League, or rugby, which are sport very followed. And the campaigns sometimes involve customers, like the Share Sofa campaign in 2014. The SEO, so search engine optimization performance, is very good, and as being one of the most iconic beer brands in the world, they have very high brand awareness. However, in the weaknesses, as we said, Pinterest page doesn't reach enough consumers and they don't have many followers, and the engagement rate is very low on Instagram and Facebook. So now concerning the external environment, so there are some new developing markets with opportunities to merge and to make acquisitions, so they can still grow. The actual free industry is growing, so this is a good point for Heineken Light, because consumers are now paying more attention to what they drink. And finally, new technologies can help to have very creative campaigns. However, in the threats, there is a threat of new entrants, especially in the local beers, which are taking market shares from Heineken. The customer taste and preferences are always evolving and changing. So Heineken has to follow that change very quickly, which is not easy. Moreover, cost of production and transport are also quite high. And finally, advertisement with endorsement is very well developed in Heineken, but however, competitors is catching up and are also using many endorsers. So Heineken has quite many competition on this side of advertising. So concerning the customer of Heineken, so this is the ideal profile of a Heineken customer. So this is Evan, he's 27 years old, he's single and lives in London. He's very active in his life, he spends quite much time on social media, he likes to travel, and he works a lot, and he's very loyal to the brand, and he likes convenience, and he's quite future focused, and he has very active life, and this type of consumer, this is the ideal one for Heineken. However, for Heineken Light especially, there are three types of customers that are the targets of Heineken Light. So first one is health conscious drinker, which are between 22 and 37 years old. Then social drinkers, which concern a large interval of age, so between 18 and 65, and finally heavy drinkers, which are between 35 and 55. So we will see later that really one type of this segmentation will be the target of our campaign. So now concerning the objective, here is the pyramid of the objective, starting with the vision of Heineken, which is respect, enjoyment, and a passion for quality. And the goal is to grow the business in a sustainable and consistent manner while constantly improving profitability. So following the race model, 3 objectives were made. So increase Facebook clicks on displayed ad by 30% within 12 months. Then for the act and convert part, increase conversion rate by 25% within 12 months. And finally, for the engage part, the objective is to achieve 1% engagement rate within the 12 months, because this rate is still very low for the moment. So to fulfill this objective, we have made a strategy. For the reach part, we saw in the situation analysis that Heineken important segments are very in the Heineken most important segments, which are young people, they are very connected. So we want to have a strategic deep display of ads on Facebook, so they can see that. And this ad, I will see later in the tactics, will be discount, sport advertising, and endorsement, with catching and positive word, and still on the in relation with Heineken Light. For the act and convert part, strategy is to create a loyalty program on the website with discounts and offers for repetitive connection on the website. And finally, for the engage part, the strategy is to use user-generated content, which is a very good tool. And for that, Instagram will be used as well as Twitter. So, concerning the message and target, so this campaign will be a cause-related marketing. So, to sensitize the population about the cause of drinking too much can be dangerous when people, for example, leave parties at night and take the car. And this is a message that we want to provide to people. So that's why the slogan of the campaign will be "I am sober, I'm safe," to show that when we're sober we can go back home safely. And the main target following the segmentation is the 22 to 37 years old, which concerns the health conscious drinker, because they use most social medias, and as they use social medias and we are doing a campaign on that, it's what the most appropriate target to reach. So in the tactics, so as we said, Facebook ads will be used. So those ads will concern sports advertisement, targeting endorsement advertisement, and also discounts. So I think we'll think that these three types of advertisement can attract the target, and it will be made with native ads, which generate more clicks than the non-native ads. So the tactics are now the website. So as Wish has already made, they give a stamp every time a user uses the website for a new day. So for example, here after 7 days, they reach 7 stamps and they earn a discount. And the strategy is to use the same type of offers for Heineken. So when the user will have 7 stamps, he will get a discount. And if it's made, and if the user makes it and manage to do it for 3 consecutive months, he will have a £50 coupon to buy Heineken. So this strategy will, and this tactic will reach visitors, will increase the number of visitors on the website, and therefore increase also brand awareness and the sales. And finally, the last tactic, which is really focused on social media, is to use user-generated content with 2 hashtags. So I am sober and I am safe, which corresponds to the 2 parts of the slogan. So the campaign we start with influencers, because at the beginning it's good to have famous people who show the example, and then normal followers will follow. And the message is to promote the safety during parties. When you drink free alcoholic beers, and you can go home safely, and people need to take photos during parties or when they take their car with these 2 hashtags. So here is how the campaign will be organized throughout the next few months. So during the first month, Heineken is going to have some discussions about the campaign with the agency to talk about the objectives and budget. Then the campaign will be launched at the same time for the 3 different tactics. For with the Facebook ads, there will be some tests with some corrections, because we don't know exactly how people will react. So a few weeks will be made for testing, and then there will be a launch of discount ads and endorsement. And in this period of coronavirus, sports events are for the moment cancelled. So advertising for sports will come later, so maybe in August. For the website tactic. Some tests will also be made for a few weeks before it's launched definitively. And for the Instagram and Twitter part of the campaign, there will be a communication first throughout the Instagram and Twitter page. Then some influencers will begin to use the hashtags, and then normal users of those social medias will continue. Among those months, the campaign will be monitored with KPIs, which will be here to measure the effectiveness and the success of this campaign, and some corrections will be made to improve and to make that this campaign is a success. So now let's talk about the control part of this campaign, starting with the budget. Ads on Facebook are very expensive, and following on the long term from April or May to December, it's a very long period, so they will finally cost 200,000 euros, which represent 58% of the whole budget. Then there will be some smaller costs like the web page and the mobile app development and maintenance, and also the organizement of the fact to organize testing groups. And finally, another important cost that will be part of this campaign is the influencers, because we need to pay them to promote the hashtags and to launch the social media campaign on Instagram and Twitter. So 100,000 euros will be saved for them for this campaign. And finally, for the controls that we said, KPIs will be here to measure the progress and effectiveness of the campaign. So for the first objective, which was to increase Facebook clicks on displayed eye by 30% within 12 months, the most important KPI is to measure the click-through rate. For the second objective, it's essential to measure the number of visitors on the website and also the sales, to see if people use their discounts to buy Heineken, and to see if on the long term and short term it can increase in sales. And finally, for the last objective, for the Instagram and Twitter campaign, KPI are the number of followers and the average engagement rate per post. So to see if there are more and more followers, and if the engagement rate for the post is also increasing, because this is maybe the current most important issue for Heineken. So here are the references. So this is the end of the presentation concerning this new campaign. We truly think that it will be better organized and have a better impact than the failed campaign, which was failed 2 years ago. And we think that Heineken Light will have a better image and better awareness among people thanks to this campaign. Thank you.